Yeah, we're about to make these tyres earn their money, that's for sure. I think there's a stream running nearby.
That's me.
But Amanda said, "What's that?" And I was like, "What's what?" And then she's like, "That." And I was like, "What?" And then I looked and I was like, "Oh, that. No idea." And don't know why it's at a gas station. What is that? Morning everybody from Hualapai Mountain Resort. We're up here in the mountains. If you haven't seen last week's episode, Amanda and I have been out on a little side-by-side send. We took the Can-Am up from Havasu all the way up here on the mountain. We stopped here last night in this beautiful little cabin. It's absolutely awesome up here. If you ever want to do trails in the area, highly recommend you come stay. And today we are going to go down the other side of the mountain via an old gold mansion. It's all in ruins now, so I don't think we're going to find any stately ballrooms, but we are going to go check it out on the trail down the hill and then out to an area called Wickiup that I've never been to before via another trail. So just another day of exploring. Like I say, if you haven't seen last week's episode, go back and check that out. But we've got to go now down into town. Kingman is about 20 minutes that way. We're just going to go do a quick splash and dash, make sure we've got enough fuel, and then we'll be back up the hill to start our adventure. Are you ready? You excited about how cold it is? Give everybody a weather report.
It's friggin' cold.
Yeah, 39 degrees.
It's a little nipply.
Thankfully, we do have this windshield that I just had installed by the guys at Anderson Power Sports. And if you go and buy any new Can-Am from them right now, they'll give you a free one. Tell everybody what we're doing.
We're getting warm.
Very nice.
Thanks.
Give us a twirl. Calvin Klein? Damn!
That's right, B.
We've caffeinated you, we've fed you, we've clothed you. Go take them for a spin. In her defense, it is cold. I'm freezing, but I'm like, oh no, it's fine, babe. We'll get warm. But I'm wearing this badass hoodie that you can get from swords.com. It's very warm and well made. So here we are, start of day 2. We're up in the Hualapai Mountains. The community behind us is Pine Lake community. And as you can see, it is absolutely stunning up here. Altitude-wise, 6,380 feet. So we're about 6,000 feet higher than Havasu. Also, because I always forget to say this, if you aren't subscribed, please go and subscribe. I would love to see you here again. And you can come on these adventures with us. We're going to be doing a lot more with this. I do Sea-Doo stuff. I got an Audi RS6. Just lots of toys that allow me to go to lots of cool places. So yeah, subscribe if you aren't already. Thank you very much. So one of the cool things about this is that you have the Sport Plus mode, and what it'll do, see the RPM comes up, so that's actually now spooling the turbo, so it means that we don't have any of that turbo lag. So when you're doing stuff like this at slow speed, if you don't want to run it in that low range, it just gives you a little bit more juice from down low with the anti-lag system. So like here where we've got some stuff where, you know, we're relatively steep, it's just going to make it a little bit easy, stop the engine having to work as hard before it comes on boost. This is flipping narrow. Might need to get out and do some spotting for me. water's rough. Wow, it's gorgeous. So that's just using the transmission, that's no brakes. That's just this super low range. Like I'm completely off the brakes. I'm pretty sure it said that this trail was accessible to full width vehicles. There's no way that you'd get through here in like a truck.
No.
Well, you would, but you'd be scraping the whole way.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. This is crazy. It said it was like a full width trail. I think there's a stream running nearby.
That's me.
Well, that bit was definitely more adventurous than I anticipated. I'd say that I am at the absolute limit of the width that you would want to drive this trail. This is about, with these wheels and tires, about 82 inches wide now, maybe 83. So yeah, it's definitely a little fat for some of these skinny bits, but we made it through, and the BFG KM3s are doing an absolutely sterling job of handling all of this sharp stuff. You having fun?
Yeah.
Have you had a squeaky bum?
Pooped only once.
Which part did you almost poop at?
That was definitely going over that little bridge, metal bridge gate thingy.
Yeah. I just don't understand why they made it that shape. You literally had to turn as you were going over it.
Yeah.
It was skinny. I had to back up and then straighten up and go over it again. But as I was on the top of it, I was having to turn so that my front left didn't go off, but I had to go as far to the left as I could, because otherwise the rear right wouldn't clear the other bar. Because when we first went over it, I was like, oh great, I'm clear. I looked in my mirror, everything looked fine, and then I went dunk and hit the tire like right onto it. We actually used the rock sliders, but on the metal bridge. All the gear, no idea. We made it. The Gold King Mansion. Behold. I just said to Amanda, how? How were they getting things up here? Unless the trail down from here is much easier and perhaps they just didn't have the need to go up there, which is why it's so rocky. But I'm just like, how do you bring all of this up here back in the olden days when I'm struggling to do it in a bleeding Can-Am? So apparently there's wasps and there's also rattlesnakes, so just watch your little ankles.
All right.
There was a lady at the restaurant who said that when they come down here, they've seen like 5 or 6 rattlesnakes all in the same area. So I think it is quite a snaky spot. So yeah, apparently this is where the dignitaries would come when they came to the mine. They would come put them up here. Actually, babe, this is cool in here. Look, there's the crown moulding is all still in place. All the crown moulding is still in place. So obviously fire. So this might have been some sort of a living room, entertaining area, I guess. Nice view. Probably had some nice big windows. I'm going to go out there and say, bit of a stretch calling it a mansion. Does the mansion have to be over like 5,000 square feet? I think so. I think that's when it becomes a mansion. It's pretty nice though. So I'm guessing the mine must have been sort of in there somewhere. As I say, if you're unsafe, you do not walk on the roof. There you go, that's what it would have looked like before. It was built in the late 1920s by the Gold King Corporation, which used this ornate structure to entertain wealthy investors and to house the mine foreman of the Gold King mine. The mine produced gold, silver, copper and lead. Oh wow, so they built it in the 20s, and by October 29 they gave up on it. So it really wasn't here very long then. Okay, goodbye mansion. Thank you for spoiling us with your fancies. Oh, we've got a water crossing.
Oh yay. All on my side.
Oh, that's it. Use my fleece to protect you. Oh, we might be using the rock sliders. Yep. That's why we put them on there. See? Oh. That was the side of that tire. This way, I'm guessing. Yeah, we're about to make these tyres earn their money, that's for sure. Actually, I might try low range. The issue we have is I've slipped down to the left, and so it's put my front wheel close to this rock, which is not where I want to be. So we're going to see if we can't Never doubted it for a minute. Whew, that's a lie. I was just shitting bricks then. I thought we weren't getting out. So we only burned 5 gallons, which is pretty wild, honestly. Considering that the last fill up I did was in Kingman, and then we had to drive 14 miles back up the hill and then do all the trails and everything, and then that cruise we just did. Yeah, that was a really light fuel leg. But while we're here, for $6 a gallon, I'm using this squeegee. So I just went inside to get some healthy snacks. Look, here, can you hold this a second? So, because I'm super healthy, I just got some cheese.
A block of
for
cheese.
protein.
Okay.
And I got us the 2 good flavors.
Oh, you didn't want cherry?
So, what is that? Don't out me like that. But Amanda said, "What's that?" And I was like, "What's what?" And then she's like, "That." And I was like, "What?" And then I looked and I was like, "Oh, that. No idea." And don't know why it's at a gas station. What is that? I have not a clue what that is or why it's at Shell. But here we are, middle of nowhere.
Want some?
I'll have a Funyun. Because it's definitely all natural.
Absolutely. Well, that guy said.
He's just like, hell yeah, man, that thing's badass. I was like, thanks, I think so. He's like, where do y'all go in that? I was like, wherever the wind takes us. And he went, no shit. I was like, where'd the wind take you? I was like, boom. Okay, I think we figured it out. That is a guinea fowl. Right there. Does anyone know why there's guinea fowls running all over the 7th Street? This is in Phoenix. What is the downside of guinea fowl? A pair of African guinea fowl sighted in an undisclosed Scottsdale neighborhood. So they aren't supposed to be here. Like, I reckon that was probably someone's pet. It now just lives with the pigeons. Looking to rehome 2 guinea fowl. I bet it was that person 3 months ago. Yeah, on Arizona Chicken People. On the Arizona Chicken People Facebook group. Couldn't find anyone to take their guinea fowl, so let it loose here at Shell. I mean, it seems happy enough.
Yeah. It's doing all right. It's pretty plump.
By a Christmas miracle, we've made it back to Havasu. That was actually surprisingly quick coming from Wickiup. A lot of it was like fast desert roads. Then there was that really crappy bit where it was all bumpy. But other than that, it was actually not terrible, was it?
No,
last
not
30 minutes kind of sucked.
Well, my brain's a little shaken up.
Yeah, it's coming to the end of the season, and so the trails are just absolutely hammered now. And so there's a lot of washboard out there. We did have some fun washes that we got to fly along, but most of it was relatively slow going. But 2 days of absolutely epic riding, driving, whatever you want to call it. And I think I'm probably going to do this sign off in the studio. So I'm going to throw it back to Studio Adam, but from IRL Adam, well, they're both IRL, from On Location Adam and On Location Amanda. Thanks for watching. Go get yourself some merch. He'll probably tell you that too, so pay attention because both of us are saying it. Anything else?
I don't think so.
That's it. So other than that, I'll throw it back to Studio Adam. It's fun because that way then it just stops me from having to think about an outro now, and it makes future Adam, it makes it his problem instead.